too true. But yeah, like just many laptops happen to break.
Hmm. Rest in peace, those laptops. What was I gonna say? Okay, so yeah, I did like some real estate here. Uh, you wanna look into it?
Sure. I can't look at the screen just yet. Maybe in a few minutes.
Okay, well, you know, what can we tell out of this data? Okay, well, I'm gonna go through then I'm gonna go through fucking tell you the results of the sponge.
Uh,
Gonna tell you the results of the sponge.
Results of what?
Sponge,
Oh, sponge. Oh, nice.
unhealthy.
Really.
Yep. This is like
Uh,
the 4 days forwards previous day average, and it was 0.381, not even negative.
right. Gotcha. Let me see. But I kind of want to look at it. Let me give me a minute. And the T test, I guess, was
Also,
obvious.
yeah, also fucking unhealthy.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, like it can't possibly be rejected if the difference in means is positive.
You see?
um,
I can zoom in if you wanted to.
so that's okay. Can you look at all points? Yeah. Oof, that's high. Man, I'm telling you, water is just something. Fucking showers, sponges.
Yeah. Wait, have you had results like that too, or some shit like that with water related? Not like
Just
consumption of water, but like
showers.
showers.
Lots of showers, something like that. But yeah, if you want to scroll down, yeah, they're just all really high. Let's see. Particularly bad to do it in the morning. Anyways, scroll down. Oh, that wasn't the morning. That was day forward day. Okay, I see. That wasn't. Uh, yeah, that makes sense. Yep, similar. Just not a great thing to do.
Hmm.
And if you want to scroll down, is there more? Uh,
Blue Avenue in
oh
the
yeah.
morning.
No, it's actually particularly shitty in the evening.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, in the morning it's actually healthy, right?
No, no. Look at the y-axis. That
Oh
it
yeah,
doesn't.
it's not. Yeah. We're in the negative ranges still. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
It's not healthy at any point.
Yeah, we're hitting in the healthy ranges. Yep.
Unhealthy. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah. How many points is this?
6.
6. Yeah. I mean, it could potentially be random error, but yeah, like if you would have to guess randomly, it's definitely would be guessing not healthy.
Yeah. I mean, I'm down to continue with these experiments.
Yeah, man, it's up to you if you wanna
Yeah, for
keep
sure.
trying.
Yeah.
I guess 6 points isn't exactly a lot.
So for the sponge, okay, so I fixed the meditation one, and yeah, it came out as um, fucking positive, barely positive though.
What did we have to fix?
The sarcom meditation, remember, because it said that it was unhealthy, but in reality it was healthy. So I fixed the value.
Yeah.
And yeah, for the sponge one, I got unhealthy, right? Unhealthy value for the sponge one. Yeah, so this is
Interesting.
like actually fucking, you know, using a sponge with fucking cold water from the fridge, like I did. You know, I put it on the fucking fridge, very cold with the water, then put it on, rub it against my fucking neck, upper back, uh, arms, a bit of my chest, my face for like 1 minute, 1 minute and a half. It
Just
was
cold water exposure.
yeah, overall, I mean, to me it was unhealthy, I guess.
But yeah, it's interesting. So the meditation is like change signs, I guess, sort of on a t test, on a p-value test.
Yeah. We can look at
Okay.
meditation again if you want. Look.
Yeah, that's the first point. Yeah, it just kind of straddles pretty close to zero. Okay, cool.
Yep. And yeah, I was gonna say. I don't know if you wanna look at the real estate.
I mean, I looked at it like 4 or 5 hours ago. I don't know if you've updated it.
No, no, I did that like longer than that. Fucking 7 hours ago.
Wait, what notebook is that?
Total.
Yeah, that's the one I looked at.
Yeah, yeah, but there is something that you would like to talk about. Well, I'm like kind of interested. Like, what's your take on the overall
I
shit?
found like some point in like Midland. Forget which one was it. Uh,
What?
well, that you'd have to scroll down to where they're sorted. Yeah. Oh, Nuevo Leon.
Wait, what?
Nuevo Leon. That
Nuevo
like
León?
what is it? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
like the third from the top. Yeah, that one is like in inland, somewhere near center of Mexico,
Yeah.
central Mexico.
What does NBYMSHGNGF means?
Just parameters, different parameters.
But like, what do they measure? Like the overall, like it's like a health index. Like if it was
Yeah, it's aspects. Yeah, it's aspects of health index.
okay. And wait, the, wait. So how do we tell, like for example, here which ones are healthy and which others are not?
Just well, I wrote the algorithm to put the healthier ones at the top.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the higher it is, the healthier it is.
And the NP is for like what? The
Uh,
pollen or no?
just aspect of health index,
Okay. Private intellect.
intellectual
Oh
property.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
maybe,
Intellectual property.
maybe we can dive into it later.
Oh, like without recording? Yeah, sure.
No, just like if we like work on research in that area more.
Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, sure. But yeah. So
Uh,
the ones all the way at the bottom here are the least healthy ones.
do you want me to call you? Yeah, right. What do you think about that?
About what?
Like this, like um,
I mean, I think that this is very fucking helpful to find, like, unironically, I don't think that nobody has actually came up with like a model like this, or maybe they have. I don't know.
No, but I mean, like, what do you think about like these territories, like territories in the top versus territories in the bottom?
Like,
Like,
what do I think about the data? Like, how to interpret it? What do
well,
you mean?
sort of like, yeah, so like about these areas, like the top areas versus the bottom areas. Like, I found it interesting that like a lot of the top areas are like near California, basically like on the west coast, like Baja and
Uh,
uh,
I mean, fuck. I mean, I don't know.
Veracruz.
Maybe it could have to do with the influence of like American economy or whatnot, something like that. I don't know. I don't know, but like then if we take that in consideration and there is more infrastructure, more industrialization, there will be like more pollution and shit like that. More contamination. So it kind of makes no sense because the more developed, the higher the fucking pollution rates. So, huh? Like it's making me wonder whether the industrialization of the north of Mexico is um, barely existent compared to the south. If the north is healthier overall. I don't know. That's what I think.
Uh, well, I don't know what I mean. Do you think that according to this, north is healthy? Because it kind of looks more of like west coast is healthy.
Oh, okay. I mean,
Like
yeah.
Veracruz and like Baja is basically west coast. Right on the ocean.
Oh,
I
okay.
think.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, then definitely you should pick something near the west coast. And I wonder if the prices are also higher, considering the fact that it's healthier.
Well, I mean,
Probably nobody takes that in consideration. It's just like,
yeah,
oh my
nobody.
god, that looks pretty. I want it. Whether it's
Yeah,
here, in fucking China, in Mexico, in America, it's just like, oh my god, looks pretty. Buy it. Give
yeah,
it back.
yeah, basically.
uh,
But let's see. Do you wanna continue in like 20 minutes? I just stopped and I was gonna eat real quick.
Alright, bro. No cooking with panda, bro.
Uh,
No cooking with panda. Come on, bro.
and what I I
What?
cooked some fish. I boiled some fish.
Oh no, but I was jokingly saying no cooking with pandas in like sort of like a video of cooking while it's sort of like what's the word I'm looking for? You explain what
Keep
you're doing. What you explain what you're doing. What?
yeah, right. No.
What? All right,
I
bro.
get distracted. I get distracted. I'm like I'm like I forget what I'm doing.
Yeah, and then you end up adding like fucking 1 kilogram of salt. uh,
A bunch of
and then
pepper.
and then you go like, this is gonna be the next experiment. What happens to the human
Then
body if you consume 1 kilogram of salt per day?
it's like one like a tablespoon of pepper, and then I'm like, we're doing podcast. I'm just crying the whole podcast.
uh, that actually sounds very fucking convincing. Not gonna fucking lie.
Yeah,
Did you learn
and
that from
you.
your wife, from your ex-wife?
Yeah, that's my parody, right?
Yeah. But yeah, bro. I'll see you later.
Okay, later,
Enjoy
man.
your food, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
What do you mean? Your quality sounds fine.
Okay.
No, 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 no. It
Sometimes
sounds
just do
terrible. No, no. Okay, speak.
it.
No, bro. Like it sounds like you fucking flushed the fucking phone inside the toilet, and you're like trying to speak through the pipeline of the toilet, being like, "Hello, can you hear me?" That's what it
Jeez.
sounds
Okay.
like. Okay, no, it sounds fine now. It'd be better if you were a bit closer to the microphone.
No, but I'm exercising.
Oh, okay, it's fine then. But yeah, okay. So I did some research today about. Also, can you see my screen?
Yep, I can see it.
I did research on like medications that will possibly be beneficial for self-control, among other parameters. And I did research on one that was called Dexedrine, and I like it wasn't convincing enough, so I switched into a different one. And the one that I ended up picking is methylphenidate, which is meant to have shown benefits on self-control and overall like just concentration and energy boost because it's a drug prescribed for people with ADHD, but it has shown scientifically speaking that it's good for self-control. So that will be better than trying to fucking medications for like fucking Alzheimer's, in my opinion. But yeah, anyways, so methylphenidate is a central is a central nervous system stimulant medication that is primarily used to treat attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD, and narcolepsy. It works by increasing the levels of dopamine and norepinephrine in the brain, which can improve concentration, alertness, and attention. Methinphe- Methylphenidate, when used as directed and under medical supervision, can provide several um, benefits for individuals with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD, and narcolepsy. Some of the benefits of methylphenidate include improved focus and attention. I'm just gonna call it methy so I can pronounce it without fucking, chopping off my fucking tongue. I know it sounds weird, but
Let's
yeah,
go with, let's go with
methy.
meth.
Let's go with meth. Yeah, meth can improve the
Meth
ability.
is a stimulant of central nervous system. It stimulates epinephrine. Meth.
Yeah.
Listen that.
Yeah, yeah. Med can improve the ability to focus and pay attention, which is particularly helpful for individuals with ADHD who struggle with
And
this.
then
Uh-huh.
yeah, and it stops being tired. You will not ever feel tired.
Yeah, you just need to contact your local fucking dealer. Easy. Fucking, it kind of, like the medication methylphenidate. Yeah, it kind of sounds like meth, like it's just methylphenidate. But yeah, uh, who struggle with distractibility and inattentiveness, increase alertness. Methylphenidate can increase wakefulness and alertness, which is beneficial for individuals with narcolepsy who experience excessive daytime sleepiness and fatigue. Reduce impulsivity. Methylphenidate can help reduce impulsive behavior. Can help reduce impulsive behavior such as acting without thinking or interrupting others, which is common with individuals with ADHD. Uh, Improve academic and occupational performance by improving focus, attention, and productivity. Methylphenidate can help individuals with ADHD perform better academically and professionally. Improve quality of life. Methylphenidate can help reduce symptoms of ADHD and narcolepsy, which can lead to improvements in quality of life overall, and social functioning. Improve self-control. Methylphenidate can help individuals with ADHD develop greater self-control, allowing them to resist impulsive behaviors and make better decisions. Okay, so methylphenidate is commonly sold under the brand names Ritalin, Concerta, Metadate, and Daytrana, and is available in various forms, including tablets, capsules, and patches. It is classified as a Schedule II controlled substance by the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration due to its potential abuse and dependency. Uh, Methylphenidate is a medication commonly used to treat ADHD and other conditions. It is a central system stimulant that works by increasing the levels of certain neurotransmitters in the brain, particularly dopamine and norepinephrine. Those neurotransmitters play a crucial role in regulating attention, motivation, and mood. One of the ways in which methylphenidate can increase self-control is by improving the ability to focus and pay attention. People with ADHD often struggle with distractions and have difficulty. Wait, have you actually ever considered that you might have ADHD or ADD? Like ADHD is when you are very hyperactive and you focus to concentrate and you're very impulsive, and ADD is when you're like very fucking
ADD and
lots.
HDD are the same thing, man.
No, no, no,
It's just
no,
as
no,
far as I know, it used to be ADD and then they renamed it into ADHD.
no.
It's just they
Apparently,
they really renamed it at some point.
no, no, no. Based on what I know, ADD is for people that feel lethargic, people that feel like they lack the energy. They're not as hyper, but they struggle to fucking
Well,
understand.
just Google ADD versus ADHD.
Uh,
I
okay.
think it's the same. They named it.
What? Okay. Okay. But yeah, have you ever considered it?
Well, I don't know if I have trouble with focusing.
Okay. In addition, methylphenidate can also help regulate emotions and reduce impulsivity. People with ADHD often have difficulty controlling their emotions and might act impulsively without considering consequences of their actions. Methylphenidate can help to stabilize mood and reduce impulsivity, allowing individuals to make more thoughtful and deliberate decisions. Overall, by improving attention, regulating emotions, and reducing impulsibility, methylphenidate can help increase self-control in individuals with ADHD and related conditions. It is important to note that medication should always be used in conjunction with other forms of treatment, such as therapy and behavioral interventions, to help individuals develop and maintain healthy habits in coping strategies. But yeah, okay. So this study one, the researchers tested 108 adult participants, all of whom took a drug capsule 60 minutes prior to testing. Half of the participants received a capsule that contained methylphenidate, a medication used to treat ADHD that increased brain dopamine and norepinephrine. The other half received a placebo capsule.
Norepinephrine.
What?
Norepinephrine.
Yeah,
Norepinephrine.
norepinephrine. The other half received a
Yeah.
placebo capsule. The study was double-blind, so neither the participants nor the researchers knew at the time of the testing who had received which capsule. Uh, the participants then completed a computer-based task in which they were required to press a button when a word contained the letter E on the screen. Some were given modified instructions that asked them to
Wait, let me
refrain.
switch. Let me switch to my phone so I can hear it better.
Okay.
So I can use headphones. Hey.
Hi.
Yeah. I think this will be better.
Also, for the other drug that I told you, Dexedrine or whatever, when I did my research and I was like digging into it, I had like very mixed fucking sort of information that it can be very helpful and not really. And this one, it was mainly just positive. And when I was also reading on like reviews on top of like the scientific research, I also look for like how people react to it, and it's mainly positive, like 80-20. The only side effect that you can like fucking struggle with, okay, it has like a very high tolerance, the drug, right? It's been out for like a while. I forgot since when it's been fucking considered safe for consumption, but it's been like fucking years. Anyways, it's not like an experimental drug. But I was gonna say, based on what I read, right, on people that have taken it and shit like that, uh, if you take too much of it, the effect is gonna wear off. You're gonna need more of it, and you can actually become fucking addicted to it, right? And you're gonna need higher dosages, which is fucking unhealthy. It can definitely be detrimental for you. And some people, right, said that it's like lifesaver and stuff like that. Like it makes them be um, what's the word I'm looking for? Less distracted, having higher focus rates. They're concentrated at all times. They have better self control. Their social skills improve and stuff like that. But if they consume it, right, throughout like the middle of their day or whatnot, and they don't do vigorous physical activities at some point, they're gonna struggle to fall asleep. Like they'll just feel too fucking energetic, right? And that could be an issue. So in other words, like you will have to keep exercising, like 20, 30 minutes a day, something like that, Otherwise,
Well,
some,
I mean,
but that's not for all of them. It's for some of them. Like let's say like 30 percentage of the reviews are read and shit like that on the substance, and the other ones, the other 70 it was, yeah, lifesaver. My life has turned 360 degrees fucking angle. Like fuck.
and I ended up in the same spot after I turned
Wait, wait,
360
wait, wait,
degrees.
wait. Not sorry, not 160. Wait. 180 degrees. 180 degrees angle. My life. It's wonderful thanks to this fucking magical pill. I could not be more thankful to the scientists that invented this. Such a wonderful invention. I
Yeah.
I managed to not cut my fucking balls off because of this pill.
Jeez, man, some people.
Yeah.
But but can imagine somebody like seriously riding 360 degrees.
Yeah, no, I mean like 180,
It must be the
180.
same. It must be the same person who didn't cut his balls off
Wait,
because he started this medication.
ironically, it could also be a 360 degrees because imagine that they actually are moving in like a very slow motion, right? Like hypothetically speaking, like it's like an analogy, right? Imagine that the process of them taking it is like them slightly moving towards, like rotating to complete the 360 degrees angle, right? But they start abusing the substance, and at the end, they end up at the same point where they were at because they abused the substance that it no longer had any positive effects on them, uh, and they ended up in the same spot.
Or maybe it's like doing a trick, when you like do like some spinning trick on a skateboard and you turn 360 degrees in the air. Maybe that's what they're referring to. It's like they take it and then like fucking do a 360 with their life.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, what the fuck happened just now?
Yeah.
What?
Without previous fucking knowledge or skills about skateboarding, they just fucking take the pill. They can do 360s on skateboards. They can walk on water. Like literally, they become my gods.
Yeah. They like live their
My
life really
gods. Yeah.
fast, and then they like start back from a baby.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's what it does.
They just create a new character, basically, right?
Yeah. Oh well, and one of the troubles with it is that obviously we wouldn't be able to test it, I guess, since like it's not
Yeah.
something.
Okay, the researchers tested 108 adult participants, of all whom took a drug capsule 60 minutes prior. Half of the participants received a capsule that contained methylphenidate, a medication used to treat ADHD that increases brain dopamine and norepinephrine. They all have received a placebo capsule. The study was a double-blind, so neither the participants nor the researchers knew at the time of the testing who had received which capsule. The participants then completed a computer-based task in which they were required to press a button when a word containing the letter E appeared on the screen. Some of were given instructions that asked them to refrain from pressing the button if the letter E was next to or one extra letter away from another vowel. This version of the task was designed to uh, tax participants' self-control. All of the participants then completed a second computer task aim at testing their ability to process competing information, exert regulatory control in order to make a correct response. In line with the researchers' hypothesis, Participants who received the placebo and performed the DAX invasion of the first task showed greater variability in how quickly they responded in the second task compared to those whose self-control hadn't been depleted in the first task. But for those participants who took the methylphenidate capsule, the first task didn't have any effect on later performance. The methylphenidate seemed to counteract the self-regulatory depletion incurred by the harder version of the task. The results indicate that depletion of self-control to the prior effect can be fully blocked. Pharmacology. Uh, task the task we give people to deplete their self-control is pretty cognitively demanding, so we're surprised at how effective methylphenidate was in blocking depletion of self-control.
Cool.
Okay, now study
That
two.
sounds pretty cool.
The study was randomized, a double blind placebo-controlled crossover trial conducted in 24 healthy adults with high baseline impulsivity. The participants were randomly assigned to receive either a single dose of methylphenidate, 20 milligrams, or a placebo in a counterbalance order with a washout period of at least 5 days between the two treatments. The study used a go and no-go task to measure cognitive control and impulsivity, in which participants were instructed to press a button in response to a significant stimulus or go trial, but within hold the response when presented with another stimulus, no-go trial. The task was repeated several times with varying degrees of difficulty to test the participants' ability to inhibit the response. The primary outcome measure was the number of errors made during the task, which refers to the participants' ability to inhibit the response. Secondary outcome measures included reaction time and self-reported measures of impulsivity and mood. Uh, Primary outcomes of the measure: number of errors made during the go no go task. Participants made significantly fewer errors on the task after receiving methylphenidate, with a mean of a mean of 9.7 plus minus with 1.5 compared to the placebo, which was 16.4 plus minus 2.4, with a significant main effect of the drug of a p-value of 0.004.
So what's the main point in that?
They made less errors, like when they were on methylphenidate.
Oh, okay.
In like the no-go or go activities, like they made less errors. Secondary outcome measures: reaction time on the go or not go task. Participants responded significantly faster receiving methylphenidate. Um, on top of that, they reacted faster with a mean of um, mean plus minus CEM of 307.7 plus minus 13.3 ms compared to milliseconds compared to the placebo, and the placebo were 338.7 plus minus 16.8 milliseconds. So yeah, overall, the people that were on that drug were faster and less errors, with a significant main effect of the drug of a p-value of 0.03. Self-reported impulsivity: there was no significant effect of drug on self-reported impulsivity as measured by the Berat impulsiveness scale.
Hey, let me. Do you wanna pause it and I can do it?
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
Okay. So, in that study that we went through, basically the people that were using methylphenidate had less errors, they did it faster, the go no go test, and it didn't affect their mood so far. And yeah,
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I wish it wasn't prescription,
I
because
mean,
it seems like, because it, like, like,
pretty sure you could just go to like a psychiatrist and you will get it in like 2 days. Like if you go to like two or
No, I
three.
mean, I
What?
mean, like, if it was like easy to get, you could try it, right?
I will not try it. I don't have any ADHD or any problems with self control.
Well, that's because you're not in the same situation. I didn't have any problems with self-control when I was at home.
No, but like I think that will be
No,
fuck
but
me
it
up in terms of because I don't have it. Like I don't know. Probably I will feel like not hyper energetic, but like fucking. I don't know. I don't even know whether
no,
it
I
will be
mean,
beneficial for me. I don't think it will be beneficial for me.
well, I mean, I'm going off of that study where they basically gave a set of tests, difficult tests to people, and they, got tired, and people who got that substance basically like all that work didn't reduce their, it's like they still had the same stamina and everything when they hit the second test, where like people who didn't get it, they kind of ran out of energy. Which I mean, it seems like pretty normal for anybody to run out of
Yeah.
energy. The more you work,
Yep.
but yeah.
I mean,
Just like, I mean, so that study made me think that it might actually, have something to it for like anybody.
yeah, with fucking prescription, yeah, But I heard that in America it just takes like two fucking, it will take like two times for you to like fucking get like a medication or some shit like that. So you could try it if you wanted.
Yeah, I could get it, but I wouldn't want to try it first per se.
Oh, come
But I mean, it's
on.
but it's like I think I mean, just because something's prescription isn't necessarily anything. Because like let's say metformin's prescription, but basically berberine is exact like it has exact same effect as metformin, like identical effect. So like metformin's prescription, you can get berberine from the store, but they have exact same effect.
Yeah, but they're for like regulating blood sugar, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, yeah, like it acts on some part of the body. But
Yeah,
like, they made the metformin a prescription.
yeah, I see. But yeah, I was gonna tell you something. What the fuck was I gonna tell you? But yeah, unfortunately, like the paracetam, overall, apparently it helps with like cognitive senses and focus and all that shit. But like, in the studies that I remember that I was about to order it, and like you told me do research on addiction, and apparently it's not fucking good for addiction.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
I remember there was something, but I guess that's what it was. But yeah, I remember there was something that we decided, like,
yeah, it was the
not
addiction.
not the best choice. Yeah.
Yep. Some studies regarding like not paracetamol makes you addicted, but like people that were, I don't remember if it was alcohol or drugs or some shit like that, made them more likely to consume them when they were on
Yeah.
paracetamol or some shit like that. But yeah, the story three participants. The study enrolled 122 adults aged 18 and 65 years who met the DSM-IVTR criteria for the ADHD. Participants were excluded if they had a history of substance abuse, bipolar disorder, or other significant psychiatric or medical conditions. Study design. The study was a double-blind, placebo-controlled trial. Participants were randomly assigned to receive methylphenidate or a placebo for 12 weeks. Participants in methylphenidate group received a starting dose of 10 milligrams twice daily, which was it was titrated up to a maximum of 60 milligrams per day based on clinical response and tolerability. Participants in the placebo group received a matching placebo capsules. ADHD rating scale or ADHD-RS. The methamphetamine group showed significant greater improvement in ADHD symptoms compared to the placebo group, with a mean reduction of 24.5 points on the ADHD-RS total, comparing to 14.6 points in the placebo group. So yeah, in other words, their focus was greater. They were more in control with themselves, less hyperactive. Clinical global impressions improvement. The methylphenidate group had significantly greater improvement in overall ADHD symptomatology as rated by the clinicals on the CG1 scale compared to the placebo group. Uh, the
Yeah, like
what?
another thing is like Adderall. It's
Yeah.
also a prescription for like I think ADHD.
Y- Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, but like apparently, in terms of not because he's ADHD, it is the best for like self control. Like, when I look into other like similar fucking medications, which I checked too, that apparently could be good for all of them were prescription for like fucking self control. The best one was this one, out of like the ones that are considered good medications for self control.
oh yeah, but I was just saying that Adderall is a prescription and it's for ADHD, but like a shit ton of people basically take it for every other possible reason, like to study better, to fucking perform
Sports,
better.
video games. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and like it doesn't matter if it's prescription or not, or whether or not they have ADHD. They just fucking say they have it just to get that boost in performance.
Yeah, yeah. But like apparently compared to obviously Adderall and other ones.
And I think that's basically meth. I think Adderall is meth, actually.
Yeah.
It's literally the same thing as a fucking drug.
But wouldn't it be just like more regulated, like lower quantities, and also like more pure? And I don't know, maybe it might have one or two different like different components compared to like meth, like the average meth sold in the
I
streets.
think it's the exact same compound. I mean, it obviously might be like better quality since it's not made by drug dealers in the fucking basement.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think it's actually the exact same compound.
Mm. But yeah, what I was gonna say. Uh, Connor's adult ADHD rating scale, the methylphenidate group had significantly greater improvements in ADHD symptoms of CARS compared to the placebo group, with a mean reduction of 16.2 points on the CARS total score compared to 9.4 points in the placebo group. So yeah,
Hey,
overall, what I was gonna say, methylphenidate, it's pretty good for ADHD and self-control, boost performance, cognitive senses, but it can you gotta consume it also responsibly, otherwise, you know, it's
yeah, I
detrimental
don't
for
know.
your
I think
health.
I think anything that has a risk of addiction is like a hazard to me.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't know. That's like even that is almost not worth the risk for me.
yeah, yeah. What
But
were you gonna
hey,
say?
so how about this uh, deal offer? How about like so well how is it looking? How is it looking at like because you've looked at the bunch of fucking listings by now. Like is there anything in like $10,000 range in the at least like top three healthy states? Like what is it?
I cannot
Baja.
fully remember. I could check.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll check.
Um. So I was thinking maybe like uh uh yeah maybe like you I don't know if you know the method what is it called? Well, it's like if you want to take the point.
Um, what was he saying? Back to the study. Uh, uh, okay, okay. Oh yeah, okay. So to test it is a study also to test the efficacy. and safety of osmotic release oral system, OROS, and methylphenidate in dose up to 180 milligrams per day to treat attention deficit hyperactivity disorder and prevent any drug relapse in individuals with a co-diagnosis of ADHD and amphetamine dependency. Randomized, placebo-controlled 24-week double-blind trial with parallel groups design. Participants were recruited from medium security prisons in Sweden. The medication started within 2 weeks before release from prison and continued in out-of-patient care with twice weekly visits, including once weekly cognitive behavioral therapy. Participants: 44 men with a mean age of 42 ages, currently incarcerated, meeting a DSM-IV criteria for ADHD and amphetamine dependency. Measurements: changing self-reported ADHD symptoms, relapse to any drug use, amphetamine and other drugs measured by urine toxicology, retention to treatment, cravings, and time to relapse. Findings: the MPH treated group reduced their ADHD symptoms during the trial with a p-value of 0.011 and had significantly higher proportion of drug-negative urines compared with the placebo group with a p-value of 0.047, including more amphetamine-negative urines with a p-value of 0.019 and better retention to treatment with a p-value of 0.032. In other words, the inmates, before they were released, 2 weeks prior to being released, they were medicated with like methylphenidate, right? And they had like ADHD, and they were hooked up to like amphetamines and shit like that, right? But when they got released and they were on the treatment, right? They had less likelihood of relapse and like doing drugs, right? And they had lower symptoms of ADHD, and they tested negative for fucking drugs compared with the placebo group, and yeah, basically they had higher self-control compared to the inmates that didn't go through the methylphenidate, that they also had like substance abuse and ADHD.
I wonder why they get instead addicted to this meth thing.
Wait, what?
I wonder why, like, if they can resist other addictions more, this substance is addictive. This methylphenidate.
I mean, they were being regulated when even the dosages, yeah?
That's true. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, it sounds interesting.
Yep. The last study, study 5, objective, to evaluate the efficacy of methylphenidate in treating adults with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder using a subjective, self-report and objective computerized test measures. Method: this double-blind crossover trial placebo versus methylphenidate included subjects with childhood and current ADHD symptoms, IQs above 80, no other psychiatric conditions explaining their difficulties or required other treatment, and no substance abuse in the previous 6 months. We administered 10 milligrams 3 times daily of medication. That is placebo or methylphenidate for 2 weeks. On the final day, subjects completed self-report measures and were tested on computerized tests. When then increased dosage to 15 milligrams 3 times daily for 2 weeks and administered a complete reassessment on the final day. Following a 1 week washout, we repeated this process on the second medication, that is placebo or methylphenidate. The results: 30 adults with ADHD participated. Self-reports measures and computerized tests showed significant improvements in ADHD symptoms and methylphenidate compared with the placebo. Other psychiatric symptoms, notably anxiety and depression, were alleviated in methylphenidate, which it reduces anxiety and depression. Um, with the methylphenidate, there was no significant difference between the two dosages of methylphenidate. So basically, 10 milligrams and 15 did the same thing. Conclusion: methylphenidate is effective for improving ADHD symptoms in adults with ADHD, and it's well tolerated. It has minimal side effects. So yeah, overall it improved their mood for those patients. Their lack of concentration, and
Yeah,
their self improvement, their hyperactivity.
yeah, but there's no reason to think that it wouldn't do similar thing to like anybody else.
Yeah.
Okay, just improve stuff. But yeah, it's just I'm not.
And wait,
I
let me
guess
tell. Wait. What I was gonna say. When I also like look at other two medications. One was the Dexy. Fuck, I forgot the name of it. It wasn't like as good, right? Like in terms of like self control. When I was looking at studies and the research, it was more like mixed reviews and stuff like that. But fuck yeah, like in my opinion, now that I think about it, since it can be like if you could not actually regulate your dosages and shit like that, and you start like just consuming it like if it was a cube of sugar or some shit like that, it could definitely be bad for you. So in other words,
Yeah,
in moderate consumption, it could be helpful for you. Uh, in If you overconsume it, it could literally fucking um, deteriorate your physical and mental health. Like too much of it can cause seizures. It will mess with your chemical balance. Uh, it could lead to uh, addiction to it, overconsumption, schizophrenia, and shit like that. But yeah, we're talking about
wow, schizophrenia. What the fuck?
yeah,
Seriously, it can lead to schizophrenia.
yeah. I
Wow.
read something like that. Yeah, schizophrenia. Too much. Like I'm talking like taking a shit ton of it.
Yeah, but I mean, like, is it like in the range of something that people actually have taken?
What?
Is that too much a ton? Is that in the range of what people addicted to it have taken?
Yeah, I read something that abuse of methylphenidate could cause fucking schizophrenia.
But people actually do those high dosages because they're addicted. Like,
Uh,
uh,
I have no clue, but like I just know that.
or is that? I mean, I guess I don't think they can do that. They can get that information from mouse studies.
Wait. I'm like guessing that it could be somehow related to like the fact that over time, right? Like some people can up the dosage, and just take it irresponsibly or some shit like that. Like I don't know, like how like a medication works, right? Like let's say you take a medication for like the headache, uh, like you'd say you're meant to take it every like 24 hours or every 12 hours, right? And like in the last 4 hours, 5 hours, you barely feel the effect, right? Like the last 3 hours, 4 hours of like the medication, you no longer feel like the effect is no longer there's no longer effectiveness in the effect. So people will take
Yeah,
it like sooner, right? And then they'll end up taking like three fucking pills a day rather than like one or two like they're meant to. And then fucking tolerance to the fucking substance starts building up, and then they up the dosage, to like 4 or 5, but you're only meant to take one or two. And because they want to feel like they're under the influence of that drug at all times because it makes them feel
So,
good.
so do you want to run through like exactly how it works?
Wait, what?
Do you want to run through again exactly the how how it works?
Oh, like the
Like
tolerance?
no, like how it works, like like well,
On
something like
regards to
it
what?
increases the uh, well, exact process of why, like what makes it work for self control. Like what's the process in the body, like chemical process or whatever.
I mean, it overall increases the what is it called? The norepinephrine and the dopamine in the brain. But what was I gonna say? Uh, on regards to that,
Well, I mean, cold exposure increases dopamine and epinephrine, correct?
which it in?
Cold cold exposure increases dopamine and epinephrine in the brain.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
But I mean, like for example, like when you tried it, it wasn't exactly like that helpful.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it seems like it for me.
So I mean, even the process that by which it works is already questionable.
I mean, I guess so. Yeah, you're right.
Like if there was something that it did that was amazing that we couldn't do any other way, like it would be more tempting, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
But at this point, it just yeah, I guess it's not convincing enough to me
Yeah, yeah. Of
to
course.
like
Like you
to
gotta
put in
try
like
it.
to put in like all the steps to like even fucking get it and try it and like yeah, I wouldn't even bother. Yeah,
Yeah,
there's no
yeah.
way.
No, it's fine, bro. But like the
It's
reason
still
of why
interesting.
I researched it is because I thought that it could be helpful. But yeah,
Yeah, it's still interesting.
it's fine, bro. But yeah, I get you.
Like the one fucking process that I think would be epic helpful for me, like fucking unbelievably helpful,
Huh?
is like fucking no fucking medication or prescription uh, available to buy for it. So so when people are in isolation,
Mhm.
or I think any animal is in isolation,
Yep.
they start pumping out something called tachykinin,
Uh huh.
uh, and that the more
Oh, you.
tachykinin,
I think you have talked to me about that. Anyways, but
yeah,
yeah, you have continue.
yeah, I did, yeah, and then like starts pumping out this chemical tachykinin,
Uh huh.
and like basically it makes mice because they couldn't like put people into torture isolation as a fucking experiment, but they could do that with mice. So they put mice in isolation on that nature
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
So they would fucking get really anxious and like psychologically unbalanced basically.
Uh huh.
After being isolated and all that. And then they gave them a tachykinin blocker, and basically after that, like that isolation didn't really have any effect on their psychological mood, and also they didn't pump out those tachykinins, and then
Wait.
so
What's
that
the
and that
last part? And they didn't what the tachycanians in the last part?
uh, they didn't
Oh, they
pump
didn't pump
out,
up the pump out.
yeah, pump out, like their brain wasn't pumping a shit ton of tachykinins into the body.
Yeah, yeah.
I
It
don't know,
wasn't
like it's
releasing
some
them, right?
fucking, it's like some fucking mechanism in our DNA to like force us to be social. Like, actually, I guess basically like you get it's like self-destruct, like automatic like programs self-destruction if you're isolated. Like like the body just starts fucking like pumping out like destructive shit to force you back into fucking society. I guess. Uh,
Uh,
but
uh,
yeah, so they gave them this medicine, and then it like blocked all the effects of this isolation. And
uh,
then they for some fucking reason they tested it in on humans, but for like something completely. Oh yeah, for like fucking depression.
huh.
Like they just took random people that were
But
depressed and gave it to them.
don't you think that they associated them because depressed people tend to like sort of isolate themselves? Like they tend
No,
to like.
I mean like shit ton of depressed people are like wives and fucking whatever people and families.
Wait, but
Like
are you sure that they were not testing that on people that tend to retrieve themselves out of society? Like,
yeah, pretty sure. Because and then also they didn't fucking even test their tachycardian levels either,
uh,
which is ridiculous. But yeah, like there's a shit ton of photos for depression. Like, isolation, it's not like not a lot of people actually go through isolation, it's not something anybody would do
Common, yeah.
for like just naturally, because it actually hurts. And like, like at least even if you think you're isolated, you still almost guaranteed to be getting some exposure to people, like just enough to
Yeah.
cover your basic needs of this no tachycardia shit.
Yeah.
uh, and I just took random people out of the society, just
I
fucking
wa-
living in
Wait,
communities.
wait. I wonder
And
if like you will be able like people will be able to fulfill like their daily or like necessary fucking socialization requirements just by I don't know, just talking to like the mailman or just ordering something online and like saying that, hey, how's it going, neighbor, or some shit like that. Wonder if that will make an effect or not really a significant effect on someone that is fully isolated and someone that
well, it
just
doesn't help. That doesn't exactly help me. So like I know there's something, like I know there's something I'm missing, because like again, like when I'm like physically around like
people.
people, or like the same people, like like it's like the difference is like
Massive.
absolutely huge.
No.
Like I can completely feel like all the fucking effects of this tachycardia shit. And like yeah, like I said, like uh, I can compare it to when I'm not driving, when I'm
Oh.
like somewhere around people. Uh, yeah, like huge difference. But yeah, so this yeah, tachycardia shit, and then like so they tested for random depression, just random people out in communities, just
Yeah.
communities. And like even that already proves that there's so many different causes for depression. And then it didn't fucking wasn't significant cause depression, just if you take a random person out of society with depression.
Mhm.
And they were like, wow, this drug must not work in people. But like and
You're
forget
cutting
about
off.
this drug that
You're cutting off a lot.
can you
I
hear,
cannot hear
can you
anything.
hear, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, I hear you. I didn't hear the last 15
Uh,
seconds.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was just saying that the whole point about this drug, like the epic shit that it does that nothing else does, is blocking tachykinins as a result of isolation
Yeah.
and acting through that, and like them not fucking measuring tachykinins, like already like like what the fuck were they doing? And
Yeah.
basically, just because that one trial failed, and people lost a shit ton of money on it, like nobody else wants to touch it, and so like there's no fucking
How
single,
much?
like no drug available, prescription or otherwise,
How much
for
net loss was there in the fucking study?
like millions of dollars. I mean,
Wait, but
like
how?
I mean, I guess it's just fucking clinical study, like
But
fucking bunch of doctors. They have to fucking recruit a bunch of people to volunteer. I
wait,
don't know. It's just
are you telling
what?
me that that also happens in general when the studies are conducted? Like, is this a general occurrence when studies are conducted and basically, they don't come out with significant results or it wasn't conducted accordingly to to how it's supposed to like the expectations to the protocol that a study should be run like or like handled like is there like net losses in those in regards to that, like financial losses?
Well, it's a fucking cost. So it's a cost, and then if the clinical study fails, then there's nothing to cover the costs.
Does
With
it
the
happens
profit, there's no
often?
profit. Yeah, supposedly it happens often. I mean, like a shit, like a more than a dozen fucking, or maybe more than 20 fucking drugs failed for Alzheimer's.
Uh-huh.
I'm pretty sure, and like each one was like millions of dollars, in the cost of the
Invested.
study.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it's so like yeah. I mean, I've talked like that Stanford professor talked about it a couple like on a couple podcasts for a while, even with like a bit like visitors, or like
Yeah,
visit lecturers
visitors.
or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, about this fucking. I think it's azimutampt or something, but yeah, it's basically a tachycardia blocker. And yeah, and they were all were like, man, this is like a fucking bunch of bullshit. Like somebody needs to test this. It's like like nothing else fucking does this job, and like it's a real absolute shame that nobody is testing it.
Huh,
But
that's
and I was like, fuck yeah, I fucking need this shit so bad. But yeah, like something like that, yeah, I would like like hands
definitely
down,
try
I would
that.
like try no matter like how much I fucking have to invest into it. But
Huh.
when I tried to get it just because like it was an experimental drug and like just for clinical study, like you can't actually buy it anywhere.
Yeah, it's
No,
not
like
it hasn't like approved, right? Therefore, you're basically unable to get it. Like you'll have to fucking hire like some sort of madman scientist to be like, yo, you down for to do this to elaborate, or like how does it work?
well, it's just there isn't nobody's making it, you know.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
nobody just makes it.
yeah,
Yeah,
makes
not
sense.
like I mean like even if like I mean there's a bunch of shit that wasn't approved, but people still make it. But nobody makes this.
Wait, but
Uh,
those that were not approved whatsoever, like you mean like
well,
they're being sold by illegal means, or like how?
no, I mean it's like fish oil isn't approved by FDA for like fucking treatment of anything, right? But people make it. So like if this drug was approved for treatment of I don't know fucking isolation, you know, like pharmacies would be making it, as a treatment for isolation. Or if somebody like fucking really, if a lot of people wanted to buy it, maybe they would make it just as a supplement, of some type. But like there isn't any support from either side,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
nobody's making it.
Huh. I mean,
As far as I know, as far as I know, that's how it works. Like even if it wasn't approved, like people still make a bunch of stuff that wasn't like approved as a prescription for particular disease.
hmm.
But
What I was gonna say, and in regards to like medications and supplements and whatnot, right? Uh, you think that those like medications or whatnot and supplements that they have been disproved as healthy or efficient for whatever they're trying to fucking prove, right? Do you think that
yeah,
the
not even unhealthy. There's two
uh
sides
huh
to it. The first thing that they have to prove, they prove that it's not unhealthy. It's at least neutral.
oh
And
before even
yeah,
going further like with humans?
yeah,
Oh, okay.
well, yeah. Well, even with humans, I think there's like a phase one. I think is where they test just for side effects, and then phase two, they start, getting more people to start testing for effect for disease.
And that's like the
But
standard protocol in America or like everywhere?
yeah, there's like phase one, phase two, and phase three.
Huh.
I think it failed at phase two basically. It like passed the side effects in phase one,
Yeah, but my
and
question
it
is
failed.
like, at what point does someone gives up, or like a fucking company, or hospital, pharmaceutical fucking company, laboratory? At what point, is like, okay, fuck, our investors, or like the people providing the companies, or the people providing the capital, the money, to financially support those fucking um experiments. At what point they give up? Like at what point is just too much failure? Like they have already
Well,
pro.
like they're like, well, if we find that this works for depression, we can get a bunch of psychiatrists prescribe it, and we'll make a shit ton of money, because psychiatrists will have to prescribe it for a bunch of diseases.
Uh huh.
And so they test it for depression in general, and it has to pass all three phases. If it fails at
No, no,
any
no. But
point,
like, wait.
it's
If let's say
done.
it already it already failed, like phase two once. Like, can it be? Is it usually done again? Like, not two, three times for that phase, like over a span of like a few years, few months, or they give up after the first time it doesn't passes through like phase two.
Well, like as far as like just to treat depression,
Yeah, yeah, or
like
like anything,
like the
anything.
same disease, like I don't think they ever would. to like that's basically the gold standard. Like if it fails at any point in the three phases, like that drug is not good for that disease. Like it's a permanent failure. But like
Oh.
as far as like anything else, yeah, like some pharmaceutical company would have to fucking decide to risk another bunch of millions of dollars on something that has already failed before, but for a different purpose. But like that's what they should do because there was a good reasons why it failed because it wasn't really like
Uh,
it works by blocking tachykinase that you get due to isolation. Like why would you just take a bunch of random people from community who feels
I'm
sad?
starting to like theory graph something to unravel something. I don't know if this is like uh unrealistic or not. I'm thinking like, what if like companies, right? Like in general, when they're going through like their protocols of like the testing phases and all that shit, right? What if in any of those moments, right? I mean, in any of those experiments with I don't know multiple medications or whatnot, they tend to fail too much, right? And they do not publish those studies or disclose those studies to to the public because it could damage your reputation as like a company or pharmaceutical company or like laboratory.
No,
Do they do that or not really?
no,
Like
no. That's
so they're like
a
basically.
lot of millions of dollars involved, and if they want to get the product approved, they have to say that they're gonna do it before they do it. If they do it, they can't use it basically. Then like even if it
Wait,
works,
but
that's
there is
wasted
no
bunch of
way.
millions because
Wait, go on, go on.
it's a wasted bunch of millions because they would have to do it all over again.
But are you sure they don't do it under the shadows sometimes? Like, like, fuck. Like, you mind, like, this company has this fucking pharmaceutical company. They have this fucking drug, right? But, let's say that they actually cared about the reputation. They wanted to have, like, an accuracy rate of like 70 percentage, like 80 percentage. Like, the majority of their fucking drugs that they invent or they modify to be more effective, they actually work, right? When you kind of think that sometimes they do those experiments under the shadows without like notifying any sort of like
I,
regulation institutions or whatnot. So they tested beforehand. Like I'm just coming up with the theory. You don't think they do that?
I think it's too expensive to do it in secret because even if it works, they can't use it. They would still have to do exact same thing,
No, no,
and
no.
for the exact
But
same
but
money.
but like they do it once and then they do it twice. Like like basically they do it. They already turn. It turns out it worked the first time, and they do it like the second time, just to like make sure that the reputation as like a pharmaceutical company it's good.
But
But
but but the cost to do it every time is the same. And also, I mean, they can do it because they have to get a whole bunch of approvals to enroll people into the experiment. So like they would have to get when they get a whole bunch of approvals, they would have to tell everybody that we're doing this experiment and we will gather this many people and we'll tell them to eat this and that stuff for medicine, and we will follow them and check on them this and that way, and then they they get the approval. But then everybody knows that they're doing the experiment anyways.
yeah, and it could also put in risk. Now that I think about it, it could put in risk their fucking reputation even more if they do it secretly. Yeah,
I,
because
I guess I guess there's no way to do it typically because to enroll people into an experiment, uh, they legally have to get approvals from the
yeah.
government.
And like imagine like a fucking participant snitches, boom, the whole pyramid scheme goes down, and it's yeah,
Yeah,
fuck. Now that I think about it, it makes a lot of sense. Yeah, you're right. Huh.
okay. Yeah, you wanna keep going? Or you got
No, no, no. That was it. Like I did
Oh,
studies.
okay, okay.
I did study. I did like research on like the other two ones, and I realized that it wasn't that good. And then I did like the statistics, send more emails, fucking more real estate, investigate this fucking medication. I did another investigation, the other two ones, but I realized that it wasn't that good to like for self control compared to this one, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go with this one.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, but
Yep.
any are you thinking about watching anything?
No, not really, bro. I'm probably like, realistically speaking, um,
You're gonna go sponge yourself up with cold water?
no, no, no. I do not dislike it. Not gonna lie, but I'm kind of surprised that it wasn't healthy. Like, what the fuck? How can it be like? It's just water and a sponge.
I'm glad you tried this first.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it has a real big effect on the brain. Like, it's a huge effect on the dopamine and epinephrine. Like, it's not just water. It's like actually like a huge effect on the chemical balance in your body.
But shouldn't it be like healthy? Like why?
Yeah, in theory, it should be healthy. But the fact is like it does affect the body big time. So it's not like neutral either way. Like it will have a big effect.
Hmm.
Just because I guess your body reacts to the cold. I don't know, some survival mechanism maybe.
I mean, but in a way, you're also trying to imply that my effect will be just overall like different to other ones, right?
Do what? Are you there?
What?
I didn't hear.
I was gonna say, but yeah, like in a way, I don't know. Like, I mean, I'm down to keep trying the fucking experiment and just see how it comes out.
Yeah, and it's like it wasn't healthy anywhere. Like fucking morning, evening, before food, after food, fucking like it just was never a good time for it.
Yeah,
But I mean, yeah, it's just 6 points. I mean, 6 points isn't exactly a big number.
yeah. Sooner or
But yeah.
later will
Oh
be.
yeah, what was it? What was it? Yeah, the p-value obviously failed.
Oh yeah, it
Yeah,
failed.
but I was gonna say something else. I forgot.
Uh,
But
no. What was gonna tell you? No, I mean I don't know. Go on.
oh yeah, yeah. How about let's? You want to do another experiment?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
got another
sure.
experiment for you.
Yeah, sure. Let's go.
Um. Oh, I know, I know. Okay. How about this? Research. So Huberman.
What?
What's the last name? Try to Google Huberman professor.
Can you spell it? His name?
HUB, and then just if you just type it in Google, maybe it'll autocorrect it.
Huberman?
Huberman. Yeah, Huberman.
Professor.